Hey everyone, Shane Voth with Apex Agent Academy. Thanks so much for watching my first 90 days in real estate series. Today, we're going to be talking about avoiding the news. So, you're new in the industry and you're wanting to know the answer to every question you could possibly ever be asked by a client. So, you're constantly reading and watching the news and being prepared for anything that could happen. And I'm saying, stop, turn it off. The news is not going to help you. The market stats they give you from your brokerage, from the real estate boards, that's great information. Follow what your brokerage is telling you, right? You can learn and understand the market without having to watch the news, because I've seen agents when it comes out and they're talking in the news how, oh, there's all these new jobs and this, and people are like, oh my God, the market's going to be great. And so they don't really take a lot of action and they end up having not a great year. The same thing happens when the news is talking about, oh my gosh, the world is collapsing, the market's going down, everything's going to end, this doomsday predictions that you hear, because honestly, hey, things are going to be pretty average. Just don't sell. It doesn't buy, people don't pay advertising for that, right? They want sensationalism. They want to hear, oh my gosh, everything's collapsing or everything's amazing. There's no in between. And the truth is, most of the time, we're in that average. Things are pretty good. Well, you want to be avoiding that news, because when you hear things are going to suck, what happens? Well, you're like, why bother trying? I don't know. Maybe I'll apply to Uber, right? Nothing bad about that. I mean, everyone's in different situations. But what I'm saying is, when you hear that something's not going to be good, you get inaction. You're like, why do I even need to try? Avoid it, because if you focus on the stats in the market and the true sense of what's going on in the market, that's what your clients want to hear. And put that content out, guys. If you see in your market that things are still selling pretty good, if the numbers are still there to support that it's an overall healthy looking market, get that information out there to people. Don't leave it up to the news, because they're never going to give people that information, because that's not going to sell, right? What sells for them is big, awful things happening or amazing stories that have happened. Like, that's what sells for them. That's not what's important. What you need to get out there is the true information. Do that. You're going to see better success. You're going to be the expert. And guess what? Your sales are going to do better if you avoid the news. I know some top agents, they literally never watch the news. And guess what? They still know what's happening in the world, because if it's important enough, someone they know is going to mention it to them. And you know what? In our business, asking more questions and not always having the answer can sometimes be way better for you. If someone mentions a story and you're like, that sounds really interesting, can you tell me more about it? People love to talk. Give them the opportunity. By asking more questions, you're going to see better relationships from that than being the know-it-all who, if they mention, oh, did you hear in the news about this? And you're like, yeah, I did. I've been studying it for the last, and blah, blah, blah. They're like, I wanted to talk about it. And here now this guy's hijacked my conversation. Be a listener. It's going to benefit you way more in this business. Thanks so much for watching.